Hey everyone. Today's topic, choose your jobs wisely. The places we work have a profound impact on our mental health because think about this. You spend 8 hours of your day, if not more, 5 days a week, if not more, working. So naturally it's going to impact your mental health. That's 40 hours a week, if not more. That's a lot of time to be dedicating to something. Think about that. If you spent 40 hours a week going to the gym, you would be jacked pretty quickly over time, right? Because it will constantly compound. Now think about all that time and energy you're dedicating to work. Of course it's going to rub off on you. Of course it's going to be really difficult to manage work-life balance because you're spending so much time there. 8 hours a day. We're often only awake for maybe 14 to 16 hours a day. So you're spending half of that, literally half of it working. So yeah, my whole point here is knowing how much time we spend on the job, you should definitely aim to work for places that you enjoy. Now, if you can't actually enjoy the work itself, at least try to enjoy the team you work with. Those are the two things that you can bargain for, right? You either enjoy the work you're doing or you enjoy the team you're with. I would almost say you probably want to err on the side of working for a great team because being around cool people that you enjoy spending time with will naturally make the work a bit better. That's where you can have that camaraderie where even though maybe you're all kind of stressed out and you don't actually enjoy the work, at least you all get along really well and you're able to maybe go out for happy hours and things like that make it a bit more manageable. So definitely err on that side, I would say. But the ideal, of course, would be finding a job where you both enjoy the work and you work with a great team. But that at this point is almost like finding a unicorn. It's almost as difficult as finding your life partner. Well, it's probably easier than that even. But yeah, it's a difficult thing to find. So I definitely understand how much of a struggle it can be finding a decent place to work, but it's something you should definitely focus on, just knowing how much of our lives we dedicate to the jobs that we work. As much as possible, try to always upgrade the jobs you're working for. If you don't like your current job, find another one. You do not want to get married to a job that you don't enjoy. That's one of the worst things that could happen because it can be so difficult to work on your mental health, to create that work-life balance. I used to think that I was really good at this, and I am, but it's a struggle still. It's so difficult to completely have that separation between work and home life. And I mean complete separation to the point you don't even think about work when you're at home. That's probably something that very few people have because you need to be working a job that has no stress whatsoever, where you don't give two shites about it to end up like that, where you go home and you just aren't even thinking about it because you don't care at all and you're just there for a paycheck. But even then, that will probably have some sort of impact on your mental health unless it's a complete zero stress job. But many of us, we're not in a situation like that, right? So we have to work on maintaining that balance. Well, trying to constantly maintain that balance can be so difficult that I would say you're almost always better off managing the place you work instead of trying to become a wizard at your mental health practices and creating that work-life balance. Just find a better place to work so that it's not so much of a struggle that you're constantly hating it and going home and then thinking, woe is me, why do I work for this place? Yeah, just find a better place to work. That is almost always going to impact you way more than working on your mental health practices or your mindset. Because those things, you can work on them to some extent, but after a while, your job will just beat you down. For those of you who followed my videos for a long time, I work on my mindset. But even me just living in Los Angeles, in a city I don't enjoy, has affected my mindset and my mental health over time. I used to think that you could get to a place where nothing could really affect you. That's not the case because the longer you're in a situation you don't enjoy, it will at some point start affecting you. That's where I am with the place I live. Of course, that's going to hold true as well for the place you work. So make sure you choose somewhere good. And if you're not in that situation, then work towards it. Just don't get married to the company you work for. I almost hate to say, but I feel like none of us should have loyalty to our companies anymore because they don't have loyalty to us, right? Unless you're working like on the executive level. And even then, you're still replaceable, right? Like all of us for the most part are replaceable unless you're working some crazy niche type of thing where there's way more jobs available than people to fulfill them. But otherwise, many of us, the jobs we work, our positions, we're probably replaceable. We're almost like cogs in a wheel. We don't have much leverage to use because if we threaten to leave, they'll probably be like, okay, well, it'll suck for like a month or so, but we'll probably get you replaced soon enough and then things are back to normal. So yeah, I don't think it's all that useful to be super loyal to a company unless it is a great one, unless you really enjoy working there and you have a great team with you. That makes sense. But don't become loyal to a place that doesn't care about you. That's not good. That would be like being in a relationship with someone who's constantly cheating on you and you don't leave them and you're just there because like it's safe or something? Like you don't want to put in the effort to find someone else. You're just going to stay with this person who mistreats you and doesn't care about you. Don't do that with your job because that, of course, will affect you. So yeah, hopefully you can see that the places we choose to work are important. Like you really need to think about that from like a long-term perspective. You need to be thinking about how this is going to affect your quality of life and especially your mental health because so many people don't. And I mean, even the place I work, like I love the team that I have, but I don't really care for the work itself. And I know that like I wouldn't care at all if I were to find a better place. Like I'm not married to my current position. And I see some of my coworkers will work like freaking almost 12-hour days. And me not doing that and just watching them from afar, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I don't even think I would want to work 12-hour days if I was the CEO of a company and they wanted me to do that because there was so much to do. I'd probably tell them, hey, look, guys, I'm doing 8 hours. That's it. If you don't like the quality of work I'm doing, find another CEO. But I'm not going to work more than that. Like, why the hell would you dedicate so much of your time and energy when your life is limited? Your time is limited. We don't know how much time we'll get. Do you really want to dedicate all of it being stressed out, chasing money, working jobs you don't care about for people you don't care about, for companies that will replace you in no time flat? Like, yeah, I'm getting kind of philosophical here, but like I truly don't believe it's worth it. None of us would choose to work if we didn't have to. This is just a result of the weird societies our ancestors have created for us where, yeah, we have to work to make a living. And it's unfortunate. We can't change it, so obviously you have to work within the system. But at least make sure, as much as possible, you try to create a situation for yourself that you actually enjoy. A situation that's good for your mental health and your future. Because we all have to work, right? We can't really avoid that unless you start your own business, and that creates a bunch of stress on its own and mental health issues all to itself. So yeah, just figure out a situation that at least makes you not want to go home and like kill yourself. So yeah, there you go. That's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to talk about here, because I truly do believe more people ought to think about the impacts of their jobs, because so many people put money before mental health, and I just don't believe that's the right call to make. I really don't. I've heard plenty of stories of people on their deathbeds actually regretting the amount of time they spent working, and I believe them. I don't even need to see people on their deathbeds to think that way. I know I don't enjoy working all the time. That's good enough for me. Like, I don't need the validation of other people. I don't like doing it myself. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. We can always make more money. That's something you naturally kind of make more of as you get older, because you'll, get promoted over time and you'll make more money. Or even because you just are smart with your investments and they'll make more money for you. So there isn't really any real reason to prioritize money so much that you impact your mental health in a negative way and destroy your quality of life, and then like 20 years down the road you regret all that time you spent working so much. So yeah, man, this video kind of became a lot longer than I thought it would be, and even went in a direction I didn't anticipate. But there you go. Those are my thoughts on this subject. So yeah, just make sure you consciously choose the places you work for, and as much as possible, try to find great work situations. That's all there is to it. Life is short. Yeah. Anyway, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, the easiest way you can help me out is just to throw a like and a comment on the video for the algorithm, and I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!